We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them. And this is Phasecraft Collective. We are here for the new moon in Leo happening on July 24th. Wow. Okay, it's great to be back. As I mentioned in my last episode or edition, these are now only going to be for the new and full moon, and I might be dropping other things here and there along the way. I really prefer this energy. This feels really good. It feels good to be a little bit more specific with what we're going into the reading with. And I really love I love the energy of a new moon always. If you're subscribed to my newsletter, you know this. We know this. I love a full moon too. Who doesn't? But I'm a new moon bitch. And that's just the truth of the matter. I think it's because of my Scorpio rising, to be honest. The darkness, the mystery, give it to me all the time. Anyway. So what's the deal with the new moon in Leo? First of all, we also have Mercury retrograde in Leo right now, and we have Saturn retrograde in Aries. Mercury retrograde, as always, it's just energy to work with. It's nothing to be afraid of. So we're slowing down. we're observing our processes and our presentation. With this one being in Leo, we have that energy of, our outward persona, who we are to the world, the mask that we put on to go through our daily life, to do our job, to, post on the internet. Our relationship to that outward expression is kind of where the themes of Mercury retrograde are really coming into play. So it might be a good idea to evaluate. This is, again, just like me, not the cards. It might be a good idea to evaluate your relationship to the idea of performance. This is something I talked about in my newsletter as well. My friend, colleague, Bobby King, aka Uncorked Witch, posted a thread that I was like, damn, yes, about how this new moon is really asking you to look at your relationship to the idea of performance and whether or not you have ties to it that are about, literal, like getting on a stage and performing. Maybe job performance comes up. Again, it's that outward expression. It's how you show your face and your being to the world. With that being said, a new moon during a Mercury retrograde, we have that kind of like that double-sided energy of slowness and exploration, right? New moons are usually a great time to, do manifestation or attraction work. A lot of people will tell you not to cast spells during Mercury retrograde, but as always, I would love to tell you to do whatever you want as long as you know the energy you're working with, right? This would be a great opportunity for any sort of reflection work, especially around, again, the idea of what you put out into the world, but also wherever, and this is just if you follow any astrologers online, wherever Leo is in your chart. Not necessarily if you have any planets in Leo, you might not, but your birth chart still has Leo in it. Leo will be in a specific house. So whatever house Leo is in for you is the theme of this new moon energy and this Mercury retrograde. So for example, my Leo is in the 10th house, which is like career and performance and like public persona. So it's just like triple whammy for me right now. If you have a Scorpio rising, that's the same for you. But pull up your birth chart, see what house your Leo is in, and see what reflections you can come up with around those themes. See what spells you might want to cast around those themes. And see maybe where your focus has been lacking in that area and how you can pull it back in if you want to. Anyway, Saturn retrograde in Aries, right? Again, I talked about this a little bit in my newsletter for paid subscribers too, but Saturn is retrograde in Aries until November 27th. And a Saturn retrograde, unlike Mercury retrograde, where it causes issues with the things that the planet rules over, it is kind of going to elevate them. It's kind of going to make you really deal with them and confront them, but also help you navigate and solidify them. So with Saturn, we're talking about boundaries. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about habits and routines. We're talking about long-term wealth and legacy and harvest. That's the thing that people don't talk about with Saturn a lot, and that's more Saturn the god. Time, right? Wealth and abundance because of, again, the like longevity of it all. Think very much 10 of Pentacles vibes. And with Aries being the like energy that this retrograde is happening in, we have that fire, right? Which is not necessarily the most compatible energy for Saturn, but it does, again, light things up. You might run into some, barriers and blockages that are specific ideals holding tight, specific boundaries that you've held really not wanting to move, but you might realize that they need to move, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's me, a not astrologer, just someone who pays a little bit of attention. That's my take on it. But yeah, pay attention to the stars, pay attention to the planets, because it's fun and cool and we love it. Anyway, I also talk about planets a little bit in my devotions working with deities class, which is coming up on the new moon on Thursday, the 24th. You can still sign up when you're hearing this. It's an 1.5-hour class that talks about how to work with deities, first of all. Even if you don't believe in them, you do not have to believe in people floating around in the sky in order to work with energies with deities as archetypal energy to help influence your practice and influence like the energy that you carry on throughout the world. And I talk about planets because the planets are named after Roman gods, right? And a lot of our stars, a lot of our asteroids are named after deities as well. So in your birth chart, you can find the deities that are potentially most beneficial for you to work with. That's not something I really go too in depth with in the class, but there are some practitioners that can definitely help you identify deities in your birth chart, or you can just, take a peek at it yourself and see what's where. But using the planets as a gateway to deity work is beautiful. It's wonderful. I've said it before and I've said it again, but the planets are giant ancient altars to gods of times long past. Like, we named these big forces, we named these celestial bodies after gods. Like, that is, I don't know, I love that. It's beautiful. And when I work with Saturn and Mercury, I'm working with Saturn and Mercury, the gods, and Saturn and Mercury, the planets. It's a really cool synchronicity and cohesion that, I don't know, I just really love in working with in my craft. So anyway, if you want to dive into deities, come to Devotions Thursday, July 24th, 6:00 p.m. Central. It's on Zoom. It's recorded if you can't be there live, but you're interested in it. Info in the episode description. Duh, always. And last thing before we get to the reading is Phasecraft, my 6-week course. It's coming up so fast. Starts on August 14th. It's amazing. It's a fun time. We go deep into the history of tarot. We go deep into a few different systems. We talk about the Rider-Waite-Coleman-Smith. We talk about the Marseille, and we do talk about the Thoth system. We dive deep into each individual card. We also go over different ways to interpret that don't involve memorizing meanings at all. So if you have been thinking about starting your journey with tarot, now is your chance. Again, info is in the episode description. And now I'll shut up and get get to the reading. But first, as always, we're going to take a few breaths together to ground, to center, to bring ourselves into the present moment and get ready to receive what comes through. So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes, taking a couple of breaths. Feeling your shoulders rising and falling. Your rib cage expanding and softening. Allow yourself to become aware of wherever you're making contact with the ground. Whether that's your feet on the floor, your seat in a chair, maybe your back on a bed or a couch if you're lying down. Feel the weight of your body settling into gravity, being held by it, being supported by the earth. Knowing that the earth is a part of you. That the earth is made of stardust, the same as you are. The same that we all are. And in that way, you are connected to everyone. And you are connected to the sky. And stay aware of your connection to the earth. While at the same time, feeling the air moving in and out of your lungs, but also existing around you in space. Know that this carrier of wisdom, power of your thoughts, it's the element of air existing within you and around you. Now become aware of the heat of your exhales. The heat of your exhales coming from the warmth of your body. The warmth of your body coming from the beating of your heart. The fire of your soul. This powerful force of creation and change that drives you and gives you life. And feel that heat inside your mouth. Become aware of your saliva. The nearest and dearest existence of water. Feel any tears manifesting in the corners of your eyes. Any moistness in your skin. Knowing that you are 78% water. And by carrying this water, you are a vessel for creativity, for intuition, for creation, and endings that you choose. You hold within you the earth, the air, the fire, and the water. You hold within you the power of creation and destruction, the power of knowledge and wisdom, the power of change, and the power of grounded life. And just as it is within you, it surrounds you on all sides, above and below, within and without. Just as we are surrounded now by love, divinity, protection, and magic. A circle is cast, and so it is. Take a couple more breaths here. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Cool. Just a little reminder that you are literally magic, okay? So let's look at what the cards have to say. For this new moon in Leo, whoa. What do we need to know for this new moon in Leo? Hold on. Can I count? It's a 10 of Swords. I was just talking about this earlier. It's the 10 of Swords, which means that this is a time for letting go and for moving on. The things that keep you down, that keep you from letting your full mental capacity, your full intuition, your full ideas come through. Those things are ready to be let go. There's no need to hold on to them anymore. They are only doing you a disservice. The 10 of Swords tends to bring up a lot of feelings because it is, in a modern context, often thought of as rock bottom, right? But again, like from that rock bottom, the only way to go is up. So if you simply turn over, if you simply pull those swords out of your back, you might find yourself with the buoyancy needed to take flight and to move into what is next. Whatever ideas that have been ideas for a long time that you've been putting off for any reason, cut the ties that keep you held to, past iterations of being, past, connections to things that, again, hold you back, and just let yourself float. Let yourself be free. Okay, lots of 10s, because we do also have the 10 of Pentacles and then the 10 of Wands. Things are coming to fruition. Things are changing. Long-term things are wrapping up or starting. Again, and we do have the Emperor here too, so that, like, the Emperor, the Emperor feels very Saturn and Aries to me. The Knight of Pentacles, the King and Queen of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Wands. Yeah, we have a lot of creative energy. We have a lot of decisions. I mean, not a lot of decisions, but the decision to be, the decision to go, the decision to create and to do. That is very much the energy here. And like knowing that what you start, and I feel like this has been a huge theme for us this year so far anyway, but what you start right now is long term. It has the possibility to take you far. And it makes sense that we would be having that message all year because this is a hermit year, right? This is a 9 year. And 9s are completion in the way of mature wisdom. So this year we are really stepping into, and the Six of Cups, okay, tens and sixes. So sixes are a card not just of like harmony and union, and sometimes they get talked about with decisions because, okay, we have all 4 tens in the deck because the 10 of cups just came out. Sometimes they get talked about as being related to decisions because they connect back to the lovers. But the 6 is also creation energy. It's a double 3. 3s are creation, right? This feels like a good stopping point. One more, as always. Okay. And the 8 of cups. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I've kind of gone all over the place. But we have that 10 of swords, right? It's time. Like, it's just time to release the thought that you are not good enough. It is time to cut yourself free of the limitations that you're putting on yourself. And instead, choose to stand up in your power. To rise again. I can't remember if I talked about this in the last one, but I mean, it's been a theme all month so far. A lot of people in their personal one-on-one readings with me are getting the death card, but it does not feel like an energy of the dying. It feels like an energy of the resurrecting, of the coming up, and that's where we are. You don't even have to work that hard to rise because you've already done so much of the work. So just take your place. Sit on your throne. Decide that you are the ruler of your own life. Now, we have the Knight of Pentacles, right? So again, like, it's not necessarily, these transformations are coming not necessarily in this moment. They're slow moving, but long moving. This is practical creative energy. This is the ability to fully manifest what you want to see, not through, just pushing forward full speed ahead, but through careful planning and practical application and being willing and able to stay flexible as you go along. We have this with the 2 of Cups. And again, the 10 of Pentacles. That 2 of Cups brings this energy again of like the exciting union of where you've been and where you're going. This is the ability to connect intuitively, creatively between the now and the future. This is seeing the plan of where you want to go and actually bringing it into reality through the pull of your heart. And then, yeah, that 10 of coins. This is long-term stuff. This is legacy-making stuff. Of course, it's Mercury retrograde, so, like, you don't probably want to sign any major contracts, double check your emails, all those good things. But it is through this slowing down that you are able to easier and better make those long-term goals a reality. All the while keeping that energy of connection in your view. Again, connection between past and future. Connection between present and future. Those lines, those pathways are becoming visible. And then King and Queen of Cups. I'm going to bring the 10 of Wands into this little duo too. Because this is mastery of emotion and mastery of intuition. And it is, I was literally just talking about this on a reel that I just posted like right before I started recording this. But you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your intuition and your own feelings in order to fully realize the things that you want to make. The things that you want to create, the things that you want to do. It is through your emotional maturity, it is through your knowledge of self, it is through your connection to your intuition that the stride is finally hit, that your ability to make a plan and stick with it is finally realized. Ooh, I hope that energy hits me. We all know I'm not great at that. But yeah, this is fire and water in a way that is balancing rather than canceling. The water is there to cool you when the fire becomes too much, but the fire never goes away. The fire is there to dry you when you are drowning from that which is too much, but the water never fully goes away. Yeah. Yeah. That feels like what I want to say about that. And we end with 3 cups. So like the watery energy is like super here, which is so wild when we're in such like a fiery time. But okay, 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups. Someone just came into my room. Kirby's here. 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 6 of Swords. You create first with your mind. No, actually, you create first with your heart. Mind and heart, right? You allow the ideas to flow through you and then become expression in the outer world. You honor the things that you want to make, the things that you want to create again, right? There is so much joy in the process with all these 6s. There's room here to let yourself explore, right? Like this is why it's taking time, is because you don't have to do things exactly like you maybe always thought you would. Or maybe, and this is really funny, a reader that I follow on TikTok, Asia Vines, she was posting recently about her journey with money and how sometimes when you have the ideas, when you have the things that you want to create, the how is not your business, which is not necessarily true with some of the other energies that we've gotten, but at least in the beginning, the how is not your business. You will find the how along the way. For now, just start playing. Let your emotions inform your ideas. Let your intuition channel into your ideas and how you express them, and make sure you are honoring yourself every step of the way. Make sure you are not overthinking things. This is, again, a time for play. This is a time for experimentation. This is a time for, giving yourself the time to do all of that and see what comes out of it. Then we have the 10 of Cups and we have the 8 of Cups. It is this balance between, Kirby's here, hi son. It is this balance between knowing when to deal with it on your own and when to bring in communal support or community support. And also knowing that like you don't have to do it on your own ever. The cure for feeling like you have to do it on your own is bringing people in. Oh, Kirby is rubbing his face on the mic, so you might hear that. But I'm going to have to put you down. We're talking about cups. Say hello to the camera. He's not happy. He's not happy that I'm picking him up. Okay, anyway, brief cat interruption because that's the way things are here. It is through your stability of self and emotional stability that you, back up. It is through the support of others that you find the power to support yourself. If that makes sense. And knowing that that goes both ways. If you want support, you have to give support sometimes. And not being afraid to ask for it or not being afraid to impose upon other people. Trust that people want to support you. Should I say support again? Trust that people want to be there for you and let them. and then be there for them when they need it. Yeah. Yeah, bottom of the deck, please. We have the Four of Wands. Okay, it's fire and water here today, folks. The Four of Wands, the threshold, the passage from what was into what is next, not as an ending, not even really as a full transition, but as carrying on as yourself in a new way. Yeah, actually, I'm going to leave it at that. Cool. Okay, fun. Love that. Anyway, let's close the circle, shall we? I'm going to close my eyes again and invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. And just take a couple of breaths here. Just know that though we release the circle, the earth, the air, the fire, the water are here with you always to call upon, to look into, to explore, to help you create what it is you want to see made manifest in the real world. Take a big deep breath in and exhale, letting your energy dissipate and recalibrate, re-engaging you with the world around you. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. I take my energy back to myself whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. Awesome. Okay, friends. Well, that is it for the new moon in Leo. I hope to see you at devotions on Thursday, or maybe I didn't even mention it, the Lughnasadh spell circle on the 31st, where we talk about Lughnasadh, the Celtic fire festival, harvest festival. We talk about the history, and then we cast a spell together. Come on, so fun. Everything you need in the episode description. I hope to see you in class. I hope to see you in Tarotcraft, or hey, I hope to see you back for the full moon. Okay, that's all. Have the best rest of your week.